Hi, welcome to Normal People Stories, a podcast where I have simple conversations with normal people I meet. In our talks, we reflect about who we are, what we feel, and how we experience the world. My name is Ines Pusa, and today I'm with Christine. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Ines.
Can you please start by telling me your name, your age, and where you come from, please?
My name is Sook Choi. I'm from Korea, and I don't want to talk about my age. Sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. So, Mizuk or Christine, can you tell me what was your childhood like growing up in South Korea?
Well, I was born in a countryside, and I was raised there. The village was very small, and the village houses located very much close to each other. And we know everybody in the village because it is a small village, all surrounded by mountains. So I must say it was peaceful. I always went outside, play with other kids. And sometimes I had to support my father, because they had a field and they had to cultivate it. I didn't really like. My mother asked me to help her when there was a very famous cartoon was on, like Candy. It was like every Saturday and Sunday. No, every Sunday, 8 o'clock in the morning. Candy or very famous cartoons will be on. And my mother always asked us to come and help her, and I didn't want to. So we always asked her to watch that cartoon, and then we would go to help her. But we were very good kids, always helping my mother and father over the weekend, but I didn't like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you shared with us at the school about how South Korea developed so quickly and modernized so quickly. And can you tell us maybe a bit more about how your childhood and your vision of the life of the world growing up is so different from the one of young people in Korea today?
Yeah. Yes. When I was a child, we were using candles and that was lantern with the oil on it. That was the main the lighting system during at night. But one day, I can clearly remember that the electric poles was set aside along the street, along the road. And then there was set up one day, and the electric line was connected. And all of a sudden, one day, the light was on. So that day, that was the first time that we had electricity. And then my father bought a television, black and white television. And my house, my family was the first family who bought a black and white television in the whole village. So every day at 5 o'clock in the evening, the older kids in the village will come to my house to watch TV together. So it was very funny. Yeah. And then we bought a refrigerator and other electric devices. So it happened when I was quite early I think it was still in my early teenagers time.
And how now, like young people like my age in South Korea, have access to everything, to phones and so much clothes and traveling and all of this.
So, for example, my son, who is now 25 years old, from the day one that he was born, he has air conditioner at home. He has very good TV, and everything he needs to have, he was provided by us. So, because I was working for multinational companies, my son was traveling with me to many countries. So, as a person who is not only 25 years old, he's been around, I think, over 20 countries.
Wow.
So he is really privileged. And it's not only my son. I think many young people who is in their 10s or 20s, even in 30s, they live in a prosperous country. So, yeah, the development was so rapid, and I observed every moment of development of South Korea. So it was, that's something.
Yeah. And are there any consequences to this, like to this big divide between the life of older generations and new ones in Korean society?
Yeah, it's not only me, but the people in my generation or a little bit younger generation who experience poverty or less poverty, but still not rich enough to do whatever they wanted to. We know how to behave. I mean, we wanted to be successful. We wanted to live better. So our behaviors was molded toward that direction. So we were committed, we were very diligent, we would do anything we need to do to be successful. And we put more focus, more priority, collective win rather than individual win. But the people now, teenagers and in their 20s, I think they lived a very privileged life. So I think they don't know sacrifice themselves for the bigger benefit of the group. They always put themselves first, priority.
And are there things that younger generations do better than yours, or that you think, oh, that's better than when I was young?
Well, because they are literate to any electric devices, right? They are very good at using mobile phone and computer devices and all the softwares, and they are very first adapters. And I think their mentality is be more open-minded, I think. Yeah. So their value is not only survival, it's not only, I mean, they have seen more things while they were, were growing up. So I think they have more open, I guess, or flexible in a way. Not sure.
And I feel like I've met South Koreans, people from different ages, and I feel like even though there's this different experiences you had growing up, there's still a very strong Korean culture and traditions you share. What aspects of Korean cultures are the most meaningful to you?
Meaningful. Well, I think there is a spirit of winning,
No.
spirit of one clear aspect of being a Korean is commitment to their job, to their role. They always, we've been living in a competitive world. We always taught to excel or to meet the expectation. And yeah, so I think that molded us to be more committed to the target, to meeting the target, and doing our own responsibilities, and not to disturb anybody. Yeah,
That's nice.
but that is good and bad. I don't know about when I see the YouTube these days. One of good aspect of being a Korean is very good citizenship. In a way that Korean people are very moral, ethical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very safe. So even though the parcels put outside of the door, nobody will take it. So quite ethical and moral.
And why do you think? How did this happen? That even younger generations now, they have these values of ethics.
I think we had a ethics subject.
Oh.
Everybody had to learn ethics when I think it was middle school, and we were taught not to take anybody's belongings.
But we have this in France too, and I don't think don't think I would say the same about French people. But it must be something from generation to generation that your child sees you behaving in an ethical way. So
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I never tried to take anybody's belongings, but practically we have a lot of hidden cameras.
Ah, yeah, yes,
yeah.
So that must be one of the reasons also.
Yes, I think so. Practically, technically, that's also impacting people mindset. So if you attempt to take very small thing, but you could be in big trouble if you do that. Then you could be very easily found by the police, right?
Okay.
So why would you take that risk?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. But Korean people in general, very well educated. We were taught not to attempt takeaway. Steal?
Yeah. Okay.
Do not steal anybody's belongings. And we were taught constantly. And I think it is impacting us. Yeah.
Thank you. And one thing I'm curious about is, so you were, you have a career, you had a long career in working in multinational companies as HR director. And now you're taking a break and you're here in an alternative school in Denmark. It's a very different environment you're in. What are you learning? How are you growing here?
I have been thinking what I've learned from IPC. I think it is because there is no grade, no competition at IPC. That is creating psychological safety at IPC. So everybody is motivated to speak whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
They are not first to excel any expectations. They are let they are, we are all okay to be ourselves, right? So I think it is helping people to be, to respect others, to be friendly with others, and then to be peaceful with others. So I think that is what I'm learning from this environment. So yeah. And there are also things like, very equal to everybody, right? One of our core value here at IPC is equality. Everybody is equal. So regardless of age, nationalities, or whether we are rich or poor, everybody is equal.
Yeah.
So at IPC, we can be all friends here, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Korea, where the hierarchy exists. So even the language reflect the hierarchy. But at IPC, we all need to speak in English.
Yeah.
And once we speak English, the hierarchy that I am very used to is gone, disappear. So I can be, it's like, magic.
Yeah.
I can be friends to anybody here. We are very equal.
Yeah.
That's something very interesting happened to me.
Yeah. And also, I just realized you've gone from being seen and perceived and talked to as a very high profile person in a company. And now, and people knew you for this job title. People knew you as Miss Sook, the HR director. And here, most people, I feel, probably don't know the career you had. They know you as what you show every day, like funny person, interesting person, who makes good food, who's kind, who's smiling. Like, how does that feel for you?
I am very happy.
Yeah.
Yes. There are students. Just as you mentioned, people say I'm funny.
Yeah.
I'm not that funny person,
Yeah.
but
You are.
I heard that I'm funny.
Yeah.
And there are people who like my cooking, my food. And even though it is not really good, they make a lot of good compliment for the food that I cook. And they express their love. I mean, some of the students told me they love me. They show their affection, right? So I feel like, I am very loved at IPC. And that gives me a lot of comfort and psychological safety. So one thing that is good is I'm connecting with more people outside of IPC.
Yeah.
So in my previous company and previous company, there were a lot of people who I didn't connect with. But I'm feeling more comfortable to reconnect with them.
Yeah.
So I think this is really big change. Because I think I'm comfortable with myself. Because I'm being loved by other people. That gives me a lot of comfort, and it allows me to connect with other people. So that's really big change that I'm experiencing these days.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
And can I ask you, is there something you're still trying to figure out about yourself? I think that's not something we usually talk about with older people. Like when we're in our 20s, we feel like adults know who they are. They know what they're doing in life. When we are still trying to figure out so much. But can I ask you, are there things you're still trying to figure out about yourself?
So sorry, I didn't.
Is there something you're still trying to understand about the person you are?
Who I am.
Yes.
Oh yes, of course. What IPC, this was one of the best moment that I figured out who I am. So yeah, all the moments that I face, and I look back, remote myself, and think, why did I act like that? You know, and I had a chance to talk about this when I went to London to attend the training, and the training is about a team coaching. And last week when I went there, they asked me about my childhood, and they asked me about how my childhood built who I am now, and who I am now. They asked me. So,
Big question.
yes, and yes, I discover who I am every day. But one thing is good about discovering myself right now is it is more positive than negative. So
So if you had one advice, one piece of wisdom to give to a younger person, what would it be?
open-minded, yeah, and walk away from comfort zone. That would be one lesson that I wanted to give to myself.
Yeah.
Yes, and yeah, we are limiting ourselves if we just staying in the comfort zone. Even if we are here at IPC, if we stay only within our comfort zone, like, talking to the people who speak same language, who are similar to myself, that's psychologically safer if we do that, right? But it's limiting ourselves. Even though we are here at IPC, we do not learn anything.
Yeah.
Right? So staying at IPC was one of the best memory, the experience that I had. I still hope that I walk a little bit far away from my comfort zone. I have had and have also my limitations. I couldn't go beyond, but I wish I could go beyond. I wish that I be someone else that I was not used to be, right?
What is that? What is going beyond for you?
Something like, don't be afraid of raise hands.
Yeah.
Volunteer to do things.
But you do.
I do, but I wanted to be more aggressive in that. I mean, be more open. Don't be afraid of being seen vulnerable to others. I'm very much afraid of being how I being seen to others. I learned so much from Nikolai.
Yes.
He is one of the person who always stay as he is. He doesn't afraid. He doesn't seem to afraid anybody how people look at him. He always be himself, but he's cool. All the time, it's so cool, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the teachers here are the role models, I think. They are so inspiring. So I wanted to be like in the Nikolai.
But so if when you see someone like Nikolai who is himself, you think he's so cool, why don't you think, if I'm myself, people are going to think I'm cool? Yes. So what is stopping you for being completely yourself and not caring about what people think?
Oh, you mean who I am as I am?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool person. But
Yes.
things that are limiting myself, which I feel sometimes I wanted to be more, spontaneous. I don't want to, I don't want to be aware of how others look at me. So even though I do not do makeup, I'm not afraid of being outside or being, recording video. But I feel I'm afraid. I'm still afraid. So yeah, those things, I could be more, go beyond a little bit, but I'm still limited who I am.
But that's good. It means there's still things to do.
Yes.
If you have everything figured out, it would be boring. So you're still on a journey.
Yes, I'm still learning at my own pace. I grew up here, this level. Maybe I can grow up a little bit more, But there has been a lot of changes since I'm here, since I'm here at IPC.
Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and emotions, etc. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.